I'm gonna cut straight to the point. I'm gonna teach you how I made this Vinny / Amir type beat, and this is actual new jazz. This isn't the 651 copy and paste. Trust. So a lot of these beats, really all it comes down to is just making it sound as spooky and dissonant as possible, while also having like super unique bounces and lead melodies, obviously. I mean, this lead melody isn't very like unique, I guess, but it fits. You have to have the lead fit the beat and like the melody very well. I'm gonna play the entire melody real quick just to show you what it sounds like. So to start out with the chords, I have a lot of out of key notes right here. So F5, this note would be out of key. And really for this type of beat, there's a bunch of different styles you can do with new jazz, but this style, it sounds like choppy almost. I'll play the chords by themselves real quick. So see how it kind of descends, and the second note on each of these two bars right here is out of key and it's like dissonant. It adds like a little bit of like spooky kind of effect to it. And after that, I just added this layer. It's kind of like a Venny type synth that you'd hear in some of his beats, like Think You the Shit by Ice Spice. Classic. I'll play that as well. And after that, I just layered it again, honestly, just with a sort of different organ kind of sound. A lot of new jazz comes down to layering your stuff, and don't be afraid to do something like this. So 3 notes in a row. Obviously, again, F sharp is not in key, but it still sounds good because of the way I kind of formatted it, I guess. And again, yeah, like I said, a lot of it just comes down to layering and making sure you find the right sounds. And lastly, if your bass melody is good enough, then you can add a really simple lead and it'll sound fire. So see how I kind of repeat the same sort of pattern over and over again? I'll play it and it'll sound super simple, but with the whole melody and beat all together, it sounds crazy. Yeah, see how there's basically just no variation in the lead, but the variation comes in the melody. So I'll play it again real quick. And lastly, I added this sort of road thing. I heard this in Kickstand by Eric DOA. It was produced by Venny. I liked how the end section, like the every 4 bars or every 2 bars or whatever it was, I liked how it sounded. So I kind of took that from that song. And after that, I sort of brought in these gliding type of roads. You'll hear this a lot in Venny type beats as well. And don't be afraid to kind of make it sound offbeat a little bit. So right here would be the start of the bar, like I guess the start of the song, if that makes sense. And I wait until half of the first bar to bring in the Rhodes, and it kind of sounds cool. A lot of it is really just experimenting, and just that's all new jazz is. It's a lot of people think it's the 651 stuff and it's like a specific sound, but really all it is just experimenting and getting outside of the box, or like getting outside of your comfort zone, honestly. So this is really common now. Now you'll hear this a lot, like the gliding style of Rhodes. So if you want to make a note glide, it has to be a one shot, or if like I think stock VSTs allow it, but most of the time it has to be a one shot. So take a note, like it doesn't really matter, and then double click, and then right here. Oh, for me it brings up a box. I'll pop it up like right here, whatever. And you'll click this, the triangle looking thing, the one that's lit up, click accept, and that'll turn it into a sliding note. So if you can see, it has this like logo right by it, and without it, I'll mute it. How do I mute it? And without it, it obviously doesn't glide, and then once you turn it on, it'll glide. It goes from the top note as well. So if you go down here, the bottom note, it's only 2 away from it, but it won't go 2 down because it's 1, 2, 3. It's 9 away from the top note, so it'll actually slide 9 notes down instead of 2. If you want it to slide 2, you have to have it next to this top note. And for this next section, I just added a couple more sounds. I'll play it real quick. As you can see, sort of the synthy type of lead and this weird spooky, I love it, this weird spooky type of lead. So I'll show you this one real quick. This is actually a one shot. I actually don't know where this came from. Shout out to my boy Jello for sending it to me though. It's just like a spooky kind of like Halloween type lead. Perfect for the Halloween season. I'm a little late though. And I'll play the pattern real quick. You just want like a bunch of slidey weird notes. Alright, and this next one was kind of more of a layer. I wanted to add sort of more texture and more high end to my melody, so I decided to add this synth. And yeah, that's the whole melody. Pretty simple. I bring in a higher pitched version of the lead early, or like later on in the beat, but it's nothing too big. It kind of just repeats the same sort of lead pattern that we had at first and kind of makes for a different section. It's so spooky. Alright, and now onto the drums. Honestly, I went super simple for this one. Obviously, you see the two-step hi-hat pattern.
He like a hi-hat guy, come.
And I damn near don't even need to show you that, and just the default clap, but the 808s kind of is where I went a little bit crazy on, kind of made them sound a little funky. It's honestly nothing too crazy, like you don't gotta go insane with your 808s. Obviously you want to have some like goofy ones, like this one has like a bunch of high end and stuff, and let's see, where'd I go? This one is also a little kind of goofy, I guess. Not really, actually. It's pretty simple. It honestly depends on the new jazz beat. So what I like to do is if my melody is super like complicated, I won't go way crazy on the drums. And I think Amir honestly does this as well. Amir, Venny, any of the big like new jazz producers. And if the melody is more like mellow and like less complicated, then you can go like nuts on the drums, if that makes sense. And for the rest of the drums, it's just a bunch of stuff to fill in the space and I don't know, make it sound a little bit bouncy. I do want to mention how the hi-hats match the pattern of the chords. I did this intentionally. I actually made the hi-hats super basic intentionally like that to match the chords because it sounds more cohesive and it sounds like they belong together, if that makes sense. But here's the full drum pattern. Alright, and that's pretty much it. You guys let me know if you want to see more of these kind of videos, because obviously this is the first style of video that I've done in this format, and I think I could honestly really do a lot more of these. Shout out to my boy Maze for teaching me how to actually record, because before this I had no idea, and honestly I could probably do these a lot more often if I choose to. So let me know in the comments if you want to see more. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching, and if you made it this far, comment alpha if you made it this far, and it'll kind of show who the true OGs are. You know, this is my first video, long form video on this channel. Claim your spot as an OG down below. So yeah, you guys take care. Peace. No, don't go live.